One of the big discussions we've been having over the past few years since Undisputed has been announced is the potential of it being Fight Night's spiritual successor. And given that we haven't had a licensed boxing game since Fight Night Champion, and generally speaking, it is the only series to sell the kind of boxing game that it makes, then it does make sense that we would instantly draw a comparison to Fight Night when discussing the qualities of Undisputed. With this in mind, I'm sure you guys have been in the loop lately about Fight Night's production and how that's been coming along. We've had more news recently than we've had over the past few years, like when that article came out saying that a new project has been greenlit and is due to be continued after the release of UFC 5 and should be seeing an announcement at the end of this year at the earliest. However, speaking of announcements, if you enjoy my content and support what I do here on YouTube, you might be interested in checking out the Patreon page. Of course, it does go towards helping myself and the channel, but I'm very interested in giving back to the community. A few of the things I've been thinking about are giveaways, member tournaments, and prize pool tournaments that are available to everybody. And of course, with any package that you get, your name will be featured in the videos. Obviously, the Patreon is not a requirement, but if you want to contribute to community-based events and just help out the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. I've been made perfectly aware over the past month or so that the people who are vocal about Fight Night on the internet are not necessarily interested in the combat sports gaming genre being competitive. They're just simply not interested. It doesn't matter if it's Overhand Interactive, the anime games, the BKSB developers, Steel City Interactive, or anybody else. It could be 2K. It could be Ubisoft, for crying out loud. If EA is not making the game, they are seemingly not interested. Now, as it relates to Undisputed, in terms of what I've been noticing over the past few years, it seems like the audience is much broader. You have the sim folks who haven't played a boxing game since before Fight Night Champion. You have casuals. You have those who have played a lot of Fight Night and were looking forward to a new boxing game over these past 10 years. You have the people who are sick and tired of UFC. So from what I've seen in the Undisputed community, it seems like a bunch of people who are just excited that a new boxing game is finally coming out. The reason that I'm proposing this question though is because I know however many of you are going to see this and question what side of the fence I'm on, or my opinions on whichever game. Doesn't really matter what I say regardless. That Fight Night game is essentially all but confirmed. When it comes out, Undisputed will hopefully be in a good enough place they won't have to worry about the new EA Fight Night product. If it's not, by that point, a lot of the player base may already be uninterested in following up with the rest of the roadmap. And given that the game might be 2 years away, it's almost impossible at this point now for Steel City to make that many fuck ups up until the Fight Night game comes out. Now, obviously, I'm not going to jinx it and say that it's impossible, but it is nearly impossible. And I've said this before already, if that new Fight Night game is any bit of enjoyable, I am going to play it. When that Overhand game comes out in early access on Steam, or however they plan on releasing a playable build, I'm gonna play that. I think it only benefits us as a community to show interest in these new projects, because that way the stands can get what they want, the casuals can get what they want, and eventually the simulation fans will get what they want as well. I've been saying it probably since Fight Night fanboys are delusional. Once we get a grip on that fact, we can finally move forward and realize that it's not a big issue that EA is coming out with a Fight Night game. Obviously, they have their reasons and motives for doing so, but us as the consumer just want something that's fun to play. It's not really our business if EA wants a piece of the pie. Well, I know that it is the business of a lot of you who are watching this and, you know, the other Undisputed content creators. But in the grand scheme of things, I am quite curious. Are you preferring Undisputed come October? But in the grand scheme of things, I'm quite curious. Obviously, a lot of you are going to be playing Undisputed in these upcoming weeks, but are you clamoring for EA to make a comeback in time for Steel City's revival of the boxing game genre? Or are you just on board for Undisputed when they come out and show us why they deserve a spot in this boxing game space in a couple weeks? Or are you like me, where you're just in the middle and you want something fun to play? Either way, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, make sure to subscribe with the bell. We're going to be live streaming Undisputed here in a couple weeks, playing some Bam Rodriguez, and I'll see you guys in the next video.